Hi everyone, thanks for joining me on Sparkling in a Coupe again. So I thought the first one I would start out by doing a sparkling wine that I really enjoy, one that's under $20 generally, that's Australian dollars, is Deutz. This one here, and that's actually the one that I used to open in that how to open sparkling wine, which I'm sure probably sent some professionals out there reeling, oh, what are you doing? But that's just how I open it. It's just an easy way for the everyday person, I thought. And even Deutz, I really love it. I mean, a lot of people say Deutz, whatever. I'm not French, but I believe it's pronounced Deutz. I'm probably completely wrong, and I'm going to get spammed down below. But I really do love this wine. It's actually from New Zealand. I'm from New Zealand as well. We're both made in New Zealand. A lot of people do actually call it a champagne. They think, oh, this is a great champagne for, under $20. It isn't an actual champagne, but I mean, I do understand the confusion, and I'm sure some people are going, why have you got that on there? Oh, you should have drunk it straight away. Anyway, and I'm shaking the bottle around. It's actually made in Marlborough. I'll read it straight off there, Marlborough Cuvee, Brut. So that pretty much means it's a blended wine, a dry wine, a very dry blended wine. So it's a blend of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Yes. And it's beautiful. It's beyond balanced. It's just a gorgeous wine. I think because it's just a light, crisp, fresh wine. I mean, they go on about it's got, toasty notes and the yeast flavors. Look, I'm still learning all that stuff. For me, and I think for the most everyday person that has found this wine, it's a beautiful white sparkling wine to have with pretty much at wine breakfasts. I've had it at celebrations. I've had it with dinner, whether it be poultry, fish, red meat, pork. It doesn't matter. It goes with anything because it's not overpowering. I know a lot of people probably have tried maybe wines around that price point, and there's some out there that are just horrendous. The best way I can describe them for the everyday person that's not in all the lingo of wines is very gasoline, that very sharp stuff, the taste that you would put in a car to run the car, that really sharp gasoline-y taste. This is a very fresh, fruity, dry, beautiful taste, and it goes really and complements any sort of meal really well. And we're even talking like pizza or something that would make wine people roll around, but it goes really well. Like, it's not going to overpower something like rich cheeses. It's not going to get lost when you have something really sweet as well, because it's got a beautiful fruitiness to it as well that I think goes gorgeously with a lot of things. Now, they say it's got a very fine energetic mousse. What they mean is that sort of bubble when you pour it into a glass. I'm going to do it now, and I'm sure I'm going to make people roll around. You don't pour it like that. I pour it like I'm going to drink it, not going to, get intimate with it. And I'm using a coupe. Yes, I know I should be using a flute with the rounded edge. But I'm not going to be sitting here enjoying the ambience of it. I'm going to drink it. But you can look at that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful colour. It's a pale yellow. It's a beautiful golden colour. I know sometimes you have white wines out there that are like a really dark sort of colour, and they're not necessarily off. Sometimes it can mean that they're gone off, but it also can mean that they're just that really, really rich. I find that's really with the really sweet ones too. They're that sort of powerful sort of colour as well. Again, you can go into the different types of sparkling wines. There's Pinot Noir, Pinot Gris. There's the blends. There's Chardonnay, a very popular fruity one, and just depending where you're, it's in warmer or cooler climates that they do the grapes. So it just sort of depends on what kind of notes or what kind of fruity flavors that you're going to get from it. But this is just beautiful. You can see a beautiful fine bead, fine bubbles. It's easy to see, I must admit, in a flute, but I just wanted you to see the beautiful color in it. Obviously, if I just opened it, you would have got a beautiful display of mousse on the top, but it does have a fine bead. It does disperse a lot quicker in that large surface area. Best coupes to get are the ones like that. Again, a lot of people, sparkling lovers out there, might reel in horror of how I'm pouring it. You generally tend to tip. How I like to do is I generally tend to tip the glass and sort of pour, so I'm not losing a lot of that sort of display. The problem is with that, it's hard to do it while I'm trying to film it, so that's the only reason. But you can see, look at that fine display Look at that. Yeah, beautiful, steady effervescence. It's just gorgeous. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of just tell you a little bit about it. So it isn't a champagne. A lot of people say it is a champagne. They're confused, but like I said, it's easy to understand that because it's actually from Marlborough. Where they are is in Marlborough in New Zealand. But it's pretty much a partnership between Deutz in France and Champagne. So the vines and grapes and all that are in New Zealand, but they're using traditional champagne methods from France. So it can only really be called a champagne if it was actually made, bottled, etc. in France, in Champagne in France, the region of Champagne, but it's not. So that's the reason why it's not a champagne, but you can understand the confusion around that. But it does have that, because it's using that beautiful sort of the traditional methods, etc. You know, it is a beautiful wine. I think it just goes. And the price point, generally, I mean, I get it at Dan Murphy's for about $16-17. You can get it at some of your local bottlers. I've seen it around about the $20 mark. I have seen it even shockingly around the $36 mark, because they're trying to market it as a champagne, which it's not. Which is not. So I look like an alcoholic. This is, I mean, obviously I'm hoping you are over 18 if you're watching this channel, but it's a beautiful, beautiful light wine. I think it's not gasoline-y. It's not also what I would describe. There's some really beautiful, beautiful champagnes out there like Lance and Gold. But Lance and Gold is quite overpowering. It's what I would call very raisiny. When I say raisiny, I will use a proper terminology later, but for the everyday person, it's that really strong, sweet, knock your socks off kind of flavour. Like it might go well with cheeses and something like that, where you're not going to lose that flavour. But with some other meals, it's just so strong. It's just so strong. Whereas this is gentle. It's gentle fruitiness, gentle sweetness. It does have those light toasty notes as well, but it's just a beautiful blend. Really consistent as you're drinking it. And they're beautiful, as you can see. Bubbles. Bubbles, beads, the mousse. But beautiful. And it's a gorgeous looking bottle. Hello, if you're going to take that to a party, a celebration or something like that, they are going to be impressed, because it does have that look factor. It doesn't look like a cheap bottle of sparkling, but there are still some great ones out there for under $15, under $10 that I like as well. But yeah, it does have that impact. It does look almost like a champagne, just the way that they have it neatly packaged. And as you can understand, that misconception there. But for the dollar value, for a celebratory drink, for a dinner drink, for an everyday drink, it is a gorgeous little drop. And that is a 750ml, I believe. It's a 7.1 standard drinks. I'll put a link down below to the website. Obviously, I'm not promoting alcoholism. I just want to make that strong on this channel. And it does say this wine may have been fined the traditional way using egg and or milk products, and traces may remain if you have any sort of allergies as well along those lines. But guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it sort of useful as just far as what I like to sort of drink as well. Let me know some of your favourite ones down there that are under the $20 mark as well. There's some great fine white sparkling wines out there. So guys, take care.